So I think the worst thing is being the last person and also being not prepared to do this. I decided to come up here in front of all y'all because you guys really empowered me. Everybody was like, we're gonna tell our stories. And so I was like, so am I. So I've been in nonprofit and impact for the last 10 years. I also worked at United by Blue, American Cancer Society, Habitat for, no, I'm just throwing all these names out there. But I learned really early on that working for my community is what really drives me. And before I started at Habitat for Humanity, I worked at this really lovely nonprofit called the Philadelphia Gay Men's Chorus. And woo! And what I'd like to say is, at Habitat, I've been there for 4 months, not 4 years, and things have really come full circle for me. In November, I'm going to a global village trip, which means I'll be building for 10 days in Guatemala. I'm first generation American. My mom immigrated from Guatemala, so the global village trip is in Guatemala, and I feel so blessed that my life has brought me to this point. All of that will make sense in a bit. So this is April. We have our second annual, our second fundraising event of the year at Philadelphia Gay Men's Chorus, and it is a drag fundraising event. So you know it's a good time when drag is involved. So I am like, this is gonna be my last event, my last hurrah. We're raising all this money, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna be amazing and wear my glitter beard, and which I'd like to call this outfit savage realness all the way. So I make it to the event. We're having such an amazing turnout, sold out, we're doing great. And at this point, I'm like, this is my last event with the chorus. I've been there for 3 years. I've done my work. I'm gonna start drinking a little bit. This is gonna be good. So I'm a lightweight, 1 drink in, it's not really good. So we're coming to the point where it's the raffle pulling of the name time. At this point, I've done everything I needed to do. I've talked to the people, I've said hellos, I've pushed people to give me their donations. And so I'm stopping at each table and just pouring myself some champagne when I'm called by our MC, Eric Jaffe. And if you don't know the drag community here in Philly, Eric Jaffe is really a new wave for the art of drag here in Philly. And when you get called by Eric Jaffe, you gotta go up. And I'm like, really? What's gonna happen? So he's like, Wendy, come on up. So we have a runway for Sachet for all of our drag performers. And I'm 5'2", very tall. And I have to get up on stage. And there are no stairs to get up on stage. But I'm really scrappy. And I roll up onto stage, champagne in hand, with a little help from friends, and I go up there. And so while I'm up there, they're congratulating me for my tenure, all of the above, get a spotlight on me, and apparently I'm on. Oh, also, savage realness. So he's like, pick a name, walk down the runway, and apparently this is my alter ego, and I start walking, sashaying, and then pouring the champagne on my body. So here I am, a ham up in front of everyone, and I'm like, thank you everyone for being here today. But what this tells you is you might have a moment where you're gonna be embarrassed or you're gonna be in a situation where it's just gonna really challenge you. And I always feel like those moments are the best moments, right? I didn't know I was getting up on stage. I obviously am a vision of grace, but in that moment, I was really embarrassed. I didn't want to roll up on stage like that being my last fundraising event. But here are the takeaways that I take from that moment. And it's embrace your imperfections. By embracing your imperfections, those are the moments that will show you exactly where you need to be at exactly the right time. The second part of that is the fact that that event completely surpassed all goals, every goal that I made for me personally and financially. And so for me, it's trust yourself and the skill set that you bring to the table. I am a Guatemalan, queer, and empowered woman, and I still was able to do everything that was asked of me, even while falling flat on my face in front of everyone. And that is my story.